Jackson. Breaking news.
Where Southern California comes to talk. Talk Radio 790 KABC.
It's 8:21 on Talk Radio 790 KABC. John Phillips in for Peter Tilden on the Peter Tilden Morning Show. My guest is Twiggy, who's a blogger at mjhoaxlive.blogspot.com. That's mjhoaxlive.blogspot.com. She believes that Michael Jackson is still alive and faked his own death. Now, during the break, we were talking about other deaths you believe that are associated with this hoax. Mm-hmm. Can you expand on that?
Well, I've been just looking at the parallels of Hitler and of Elvis, and just very...
Do you think that Hitler faked his own death too?
I don't know, because I didn't follow that, but lately a lot of similarities are coming up amongst the fans. Everybody talking about the similarities in the case trials, and then the photos that were leaked out to the press, and just various similarities that were held in the the medicines that were administered and the drugs that were around these people at the time of their deaths. So I haven't followed either the Elvis Presley or the Hitler deaths, so I really can't elaborate very, very strongly on it.
So who else is dead that's associated with this?
Well, there was an attorney that was representing Michael Jackson in the mid-2000s, it's like 2003 through 2005. His name is Peter Lopez. And I believe that he renegotiated his his Sony ATV deal. And I also believe that there's a good possibility that he was holding the actual real will of Michael Jackson. From what I've researched and from all of my going into the courts and looking at what's happening in the estate of Michael Jackson, I believe that the will has been forged, that's been filed right now.
And who forged it, the family?
No, I believe that it's one of the estate executors that the courts appointed.
And they're trying to profit from this?
They are profiting from this.
Okay. My guest is Twiggy. She is a blogger at mjhoaxlive.blogspot.com. She believes that Michael Jackson is still alive and faked his own death. We'll be taking your calls now at 800-222-5222, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to Gary in Huntington Beach. Gary, you're on KABC with John Phillips and Twiggy.
Yeah, hi, John.
Hi there.
I would ask the lady to check her facts if she gets this one wrong, which was pretty easy to find out. I wonder about the others, because Marlon Brando's island, unless he sold it and bought another one in the Bermuda Triangle, was very well known to be off Tahiti. The reason why I know this is in 1970, on my honeymoon, we flew from Tahiti to Hawaii with Mr. Brando on a Pan Am, commercial jet.
Yes, you are correct. So I apologize on that.
All right, let's move on to Jimmy in Orange. Jimmy, you're on KABC with John Phillips and Twiggy.
Well, I'll tell you right now, she just wants attention. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Just like the gentleman previously said, he fell in love with Tahiti during Mutiny on the Bounty. He did marry a Tahitian lady. He did buy a Tahitian island, and that's where his islands were, was in Tahiti. But also, a famous man once said, "Let the dead bury the dead. Do something for the living."
What do you make of that?
Let's just not worry about dead people all the time. We know Elvis is dead and everything else. Everybody always wish these people were still alive. Sorry, Charlie, it's not going to happen.
I don't know what to say other than, I've been following this case very closely, and everything that I've been witnessing leads me to believe otherwise.
If he was dead, would you want him to be still alive? Would that be how you would
at this point, the other thing is that I don't know if he's ever going to be able to be in a position to come back. If he does come back and see his fans and set himself up, I believe that, like, that day the King of Pop basically died. That his music, he really wanted to go into filmmaking, and I believe he's going to be making the greatest film ever, and that this is the greatest show on earth.
It's a reality show.
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, he's directing it.
My guest is Twiggy. You can read her online at mjhoaxlive.blogspot.com. She believes that Michael Jackson is still alive and faked his own death. 800-222-5222. If you'd like to weigh in, let's go to Chris in Beverly Hills. Chris, you're on KABC with John Phillips and Twiggy.
Good morning, John.
Good morning.
I'm surprised you're giving this nut any type of airtime at all for three reasons. Number one, I'm an attorney. First of all, if he faked his death, he'd be committing another felony. Second of all, I know doctors at UCLA who would not be in this conspiracy. And thirdly, Dr. McMurray is spending thousands of attorney's fees and seeking his license being revoked. And I don't think you go that far. This lady is nuts.
How do you respond to that, Twiggy?
Well, hey, I've been called nuts, and I just know what I've witnessed. And I've witnessed so many things that have, because at first I had an opinion of, I don't know if he's alive or dead. But then I witnessed some things that completely changed my mind and my opinion about him being dead. So, and everything that I've researched, everything that I've actually reported on, I've been reporting on this from, June 25th, 2009, has led me to believe otherwise. And people can say I'm nuts, people can say I'm crazy, but I believe right now that the mainstream media is starting to discover the holes, and they're huge, in this case that's going on and everything that's surrounding it. The Michael Jackson estate case, the Conrad Murray case that's going to be starting next week. I was in the courts this week. I saw what was going on inside the courts, and it's just something else, How
often do you have your mental stability questioned?
Well, there's believers and non-believers in the Jackson fan base. And they fight constantly on Twitter, online, on forums, and they're a very strong group of people. And right now, the French and Italian are leading the death hoax. And people in America can't wake up to the fact of certain things, just like they can't wake up to 9/11, what happened on 9/11. And, I think that what we're fed...
Wait, so you think 9/11 was an inside job?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Let's go to Josh in Woodland Hills. Josh, you're on KABC with John Phillips and Twiggy, who's the blogger at mjhoaxlive.blogspot.com.
Yeah, this woman, she sounds about as sharp as a pacifier. Listen, there's no way that if you saw his daughter just crying her heart out, that one, she was acting, or two, Michael Jackson would dare to put her in that position, and then turn out, later that he put the whole, it was all a fake. I mean, who is this woman? Twiggy, who are you?
Who are you? What is your name?
My name is Josh.
I think I actually know you, Josh.
I don't think you do.
Yeah, because I know your voice. It's very similar. It's very familiar to me.
Oh, is it? Well, I don't know you, sweetie, and I'm glad I don't, because you're certifiable.
Okay, well, everybody can say what they want to say. And
oh, yeah, yay for that First Amendment, yeah.
Right of free speech.
Yeah.
But look at my blog. Look at the investigation that I've been doing. Read what I'm writing. I'm following.
Why would I even want to waste a moment of my time with?
Well, you wasted a few minutes to call in here, so.
Yeah, because someone has to let you know that you're just. I've been inside caves that were brighter than you. You need attention, like the first couple callers said. And this is how you get it, by making yourself look like you're some kind of nut. And you are.
Well, thank you for the call, Josh.
All right, let's go to Melanie in Burbank. Melanie, you're on KABC with John Phillips and Twiggy, who's the blogger at mjhoaxlive.blogspot.com.
Hey, John. Hey, Twiggy. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks.
Good. Listen, I just want to say that, if he's alive, if Michael Jackson's alive, which I don't believe it for a second, I'm just wondering why you would follow somebody or think somebody that's selfish and self-centered is still here. I mean, that is the ultimate in being selfish, don't you think?
Who, for Michael Jackson to still be alive?
Yes.
Well, look at the life that he led. He never had a private life. And he never had any time to do what he really wanted to do, and maybe this is that time.
So
You
he
know?
fakes his own death in order to do what he wants to do. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that he faked it. Look, I'm saying that he used this opportunity to come back and try to bring justice to the injustice that's been done to him. There's been a lot of injustice that's played out in his life.
All right. I don't understand why you think it's so difficult to believe that the man was just a plain, ordinary drug addict. I know a lot of drug addicts and alcoholics, and they are the most self-centered people, selfish in the world. And if they don't get help, you know, this is